live 8 minutes later. Sorry about that, guys. There was a little bit of a technical issue, but I think I fixed it. My computer is still doing sorts of things, but you know, it's problematic when you're in social isolation because all the Mac stores are closed and you can't take your Mac computer in to get serviced. I might have to order one online soon. But hi, welcome back to our third week of Big Girl and Friends. My name is Christopher Wilson, aka Big Girl, and I'm super excited to have you with us for our third week. We've had amazing guests, amazing songs, amazing stories, and all of this, most importantly, has been an ongoing fundraiser for the Actors Fund of Canada. We've had lots of wonderful, wonderful, generous support. Thus far, I think we've raised over $8,500 ballpark. I don't have the number right in front of me, but not bad for 2 weeks. It's been pretty sensational. And yeah, we're kind of going to roll with the flow tonight. We were having some technical difficulties between my computer and our guest, but this is the joy of the live stream. So we're just going to get all funky and get down in Big Girl and Friends land. So hi, I'm going to bring on my guest. I'm going to bring on my co-host, the fabulous Associate Director, Toronto Musical Concerts, my bestie, bring to the stream. Welcome, with a rousing applause, Ryan Kelly.
Hey everybody!
Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Chris. How's it going? Nice to see you.
Go.
High five, my friend. There we go.
Yeah, awesome.
Nice to see you. How's life? How was your weekend? I tried to fix my hair and I couldn't because it was backwards. How's life? What's new?
It was good. I have to say, I wanted to talk to you about this because you are a former dog owner. You're beautiful, Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Gavin and I, as I've mentioned on previous streams, are babysitting a beautiful little a little doggy named Daisy. So it's a whole nother world, right? It's a whole new world.
They're not, a cat, as Judi Dench put it so succinctly in that delightful movie called Cats.
Yeah,
a cat is not a dog, but the exact opposite is totally. Oh, sorry. I think the chat. I didn't know you had planned to move. I was unsure of why you were and hadn't heard from Chris that was happening. Sorry, I was just getting a message from our guest via chat because there was all sorts of things going on before the show started that were a little like I didn't know what was going on. So at one point, I had just messaged to Jessie that the sound was good, and then all of a sudden she went, oh, okay. And then she got up and changed rooms. And I went, no, that's not what I said. I said it was good. So I thought but I didn't know that you had talked to her. Anyway, back to a cat is not a dog. A dog is also not a cat. And you're used to having cats more than dogs.
I am.
How's the learning curve going?
Well, what I wanted to say, which was super cool, was that, we're talking about social distancing as we're going out on our walks. Of course, people are like taking wide angles, but puppy dogs don't have to like socially distance. So it's been kind of fun to interact with the dog owners, but like with long leash.
I hope your leash is at least 6 feet.
It's a long leash, yes.
Good.
And we've got the dogs playing, and it's really fun.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's been super interesting for me to like figure out like whether Daisy's like into bigger dogs or little dogs, and but she's pretty tough. So when a big dog comes, she kind of like postures and she's like,
little dogs don't usually know that they're little dogs. I mean, there's something about them that kind of has this great sort of self-confidence in their complete, I guess, blissful ignorance to the fact that they're tiny little creatures.
Yes.
But some big dogs really like little dogs too, and not like for lunch. I mean, like for like, to play with, because there's this definite sense of they know it's not going to be a real competition.
Absolutely.
I know Penny, my dog, responded much more relaxed with dogs that were smaller with her rather than ones that felt like she had to posture around, because she was a bit of a posturer. She was a worrier. Right. So she often felt like she had to like toughen up around other dogs that matched her kind of sort of status. That said, though, I mean, like one of her besties was like Blair Irwin's little dog Penny, who is like probably about as big as an atom, and they traveled together when we did a show together, and you know, Penny did a lot of traveling with me for shows as well. So it was really lovely. How is Daisy? How are you fitting in emotionally with her though?
Oh,
like,
that's
what's the story there?
Gavin has been very delicately trying to convince her to keep us to keep her as long as possible.
I would never ever try to convince you to get a dog. Like I'd never ever try to convince you to get a dog.
No, Gavin is thrilled. We're having a great time. It's
good.
Super fun.
Good. What's the best moment? What's like the moment with her that you've just been like, holy crap, I have a dog. Like this is like.
Well, it's like, unlike my cats that had the habit of like coming to cuddle with me at bedtime, but then they take off.
And making my nose bleed.
Yeah, right, that's true, because you have severe allergies. The cat, Daisy's little, like she's a Habanese, so she just comes and curls in and she like just stays there all night. It's so beautiful. Nice. So she's like, I think she thinks my beard is like a friend.
I had a blanket like that once.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the blanket? Okay.
We're moving on.
Well, listen, we lost some time because our dear guest was very graciously running around her house trying to get the best Wi-Fi connection. We're very grateful to her for that. We are so excited to have Jessica Sherman with us, fresh off the Dear Evan Hansen tour.
I'm like, Blue will be found, lady.
Right.
Come on.
Having previously appeared in the same role of the mother in Mervish's production and many other things that we're going to talk about. Please welcome to the stream the beautiful, the talented, the fabulous Jessica Sherman.
Yeah! Oh my God, I'm so glad I wore orange.
Hi, Jessica.
We match.
Hi.
This is great. Yes, this is good. Hey. Thank you so much. This is the joy of we don't have hair, we don't have makeup, we don't have like sound. So as close as you can get to your mic is probably we've learned is the best, but you look gorgeous in your absolutely gorgeous orange top.
Oh, thanks.
I'm all about complementary colors. So I thought if I was going to go blue in the environment, I would have to have something that pops. And I'm so glad because now we match. And so I think we're obviously on the same track tonight. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica, I have to say, someone's excited because, you know, it's only been like 15 minutes and we have our first donation of $50 from lovely Deborah Hanula, if that's the correct pronunciation.
Oh, lovely. Thanks, Deborah.
Yeah, thank you, Deborah, for supporting me. That's great. So, my darling Jessica, so you've literally returned to Canada from the American National Tour of Dear Evan Hansen. So aside from of course the joy of being in that tour, let's talk about the logistics around what's happened to you since you got back, because you were in the United States on tour and then you had to land back in Canada. So what was your initial arrival back home like for you?
Well, paranoid. I live with my father, who is not as young as me, and thank you. And I have a sister who's disabled, and my mother's also older, so I was quite paranoid about what I might be bringing back. And they had I think one case of corona in Salt Lake, which is where we were just before we flew back. So I got an Airbnb around the corner, very cute Airbnb at Glory Bathurst, if anybody has friends visiting. And I stayed there in the full quarantine for the 14 days. I went to my farm for a couple of those because there's nobody around there. And then
you guys have a family farm?
We have. My father has, I wouldn't say a family farm because he's the one that enjoys it the most of everyone. It had water, or I would have stayed for 2 weeks. I would have just gone up there because it is beautiful and super. Yeah, there's only so many days I can do without a bathe.
Sure.
I'll be honest about that.
Running
water is important.
Where is the farm located? It's in Ontario, obviously. Oh,
it's Ontario. It's about an hour and a half away. It's just outside of Hastings.
Nice. Okay.
Peterborough way.
I'm not sure where Peterborough way. I was like,
please don't tell me I'm not again. I'm literally on top of the internet browser.
I'm telling you, this is the joy of live streams and the interweb, where everything is awesome. So no problem. So how long is this?
We don't know.
Let's all do our robot.
You are fully.
How long
We
has
see it.
How long has this farm been in your family? Oh, are you there?
Oh, Dad bought it years ago. It's not a family. Oh, please don't tell me. Don't do this to me. Don't do this. I'm gonna start counting. 1, 2.
I'm so sorry.
We're good. Jessie, how long? See if you can come a little closer to the screen. How long have your family had the farm?
Oh my
Can't hear me?
My dad bought the farm like 35
That's
years ago.
better. That's
Yeah.
better. The
I can
closer
hear
you are to
Can
the
you hear
mic.
me?
Yeah, no, the thing is, I think your room is so live that it doesn't know what to listen to. So if you eat the mic,
Well, there's my dad.
Yeah.
like if you can get your mouth
I
closer
have
to the
to
mic, then
turn
that
up.
way we'll be able to hear you better.
Okay,
Cool.
Dad, you're in the frame now.
There you go. Oh, that's
I
okay.
know.
Dad.
I'm telling you because I
Hi, Dad.
internet. He was gonna come sit in. The now I've just stolen the chair. I'm sorry, Pops. You'll have to get another chair.
I had the
Glad
privilege
to
of
hear it. I can be closer. I was
Yeah.
listening.
Yes, it's
I was
better.
going to say,
hi.
I got to see the final performance of Dear Evan Hansen here in Toronto, and I was sitting right behind your father, which was super cool. Did you get that?
No.
Oh, it's our internet, unfortunately.
This is
Like
a
11
riot.
times.
Oh, there we
Came
go.
all-
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Jessie, so
Mhm.
tell us, so like you were at the farm and then you were out of quarantine and then you got to come home. So it was exactly 2 weeks you were just hanging out in this B&B?
Yes, exactly 2 weeks. And then home.
So you, if I'm correct, I mean, the first time that I came across your beautiful talent was well, first off, before I go on about all the things that I've loved seeing you in, you studied in the UK, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that's right. I did.
So-
I did a singing degree at Western here, and then I went to England for an acting degree.
And where did you study in London?
Yeah, it's Central School of Speech and Drama, Royal Central School of Speech and Drama.
Nice.
It's now.
Yes. I was fortunate to go to the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama, so we were both at the Royal Schools.
Well.
When I was doing auditioning and applying for schools in the UK, the Royal Scottish was the one I wanted to go to, but only really because John Hannah had gone there, and I was madly in love with John Hannah. And in the end, I did all my London auditions at one time, and again, Central was actually not on my list of schools I particularly wanted to go to until the first audition. And I just walked in and loved the space. I loved the students. I wanted to turn into them when I was trained, like they were good people. It grabbed me.
Yeah. So what was it like for you having did you do your master's or was it a completely separate degree? Because you did a voice degree and then an acting degree.
I got my double bachelor's. Oh, yeah.
Double back. So what was your experience like studying in the UK versus studying in Canada? Like, how would you describe the differences between the cultures and the students and your experiences?
I mean, I haven't done an acting training here, so I don't know how clear a comparison it would be. There certainly is such a history of theater there that it's just so weighty to be doing theater in England.
Yeah.
Like everywhere you turn is a Shakespeare something or Shaw this, Shaw that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just so much in the DNA there in a way that I don't think I've experienced here so much. So
well, it's history, right? It's just, it's steeped in that history. Absolutely.
But also, I mean, like the modern writing and the modern theater practice there is still so vibrant. It's just, you know, in the same way that it's like hockey is just a no-brainer for us. Football and theater are no-brainers there. Like it's just, there's no doubt it's going to be that they lose funding, of course, but there's no doubt of its importance and of its like cultural significance.
Yeah.
Right.
There.
Cool. So when you, how long were you over in the UK after you studied? Is it like, you know, we know that students that work in the States, for example, sometimes get like a visa for a duration, or did you stay for a prolonged period after you studied? Did you have an ancestral visa or something that allowed you to stay in England?
Yes, things I shouldn't say on the internet. Suffice to say that I have a German citizenship as well.
Oh, awesome.
That's cool.
My lovely mom. So I had a German passport, so I could stay as long as it was in the EU. It was all very good. Now I probably am a little harder to get in.
Germany is very well known for its love for musicals, and they have music. They're very music theater hungry. I was in Bochum years ago when we were all the boys on the cruise ship that were doing a show snuck off the ship without our ID and then partied all night in Cologne and then met the ship the next day in another country. Probably something I shouldn't be sharing on the internet. But we did all take the train to Bochum to go see Starlight Express. And that was epic in that theater. And then a friend of mine did Grease in Dusseldorf. Did you do any musical theater out in Germany?
I didn't.
You did not.
Wanted to. I found it in England. Like London is so hungry and so frantic, and I never there was no such thing as a holiday. It was just being out of work, and if I had a break, I'd go home. So while I'll probably always regret it, I never quite got to the point of going to Germany for a year of my life and seeing what would happen. You know what I mean? Not a musical, but I did get to do Lend Me a Tenor, the play, the original farce in Vienna, and that was
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
I toured through Germany, but they were a British production. That was a British production.
That's super cool. So, I mean, lucky for us that you came home, but what was the catalyzing? What catalyzed you returning back to Canada from the UK?
I mean, a lot of things. It was always on the cards with my family situation and my sister. She can't live there, and I want to take care of her at some point. And then my dad, through a very random series of events, managed to basically get me an audition with Garth Drabinsky to do a workshop for Suzatska, which was 6 weeks, which was amazing. And during that 6 weeks, Brexit happened. I was like, well, I guess that's my sign, because I don't know how long I'll be able to stay or what hoops I'll have to jump through to be able to stay on a German passport. And I just thought, you know what? I've been waiting for a sign. Time to come home. And I love, I've always been on the cards. I'm just I'm a creature of inertia. And so, the longer I'm in a place, I'm just like, I'll go back someday. It's not that I don't. I need someone to push me.
Yeah.
And I broke Europe, and now I'm here.
Yes. Well, I broke Europe. I love that. Well, I have to say, so the first thing that I was fortunate enough to see you in was the previous incarnation of Rumspringa Break, which has now been newly named Grow, which didn't happen just yet at the Grand Theater, but it absolutely will. So I saw you in a crazy, fabulous role at the Next Stage Festival at the Factory Theater. And then you did 2 shows, if I'm not mistaken, in the Fringe. Did you not?
I saw that version of Rumspringa Break. I didn't know you were in that.
Yeah,
you were amazing.
She was the crazy sister.
Do you even know who I was? It was only Stephen Gallagher.
I loved that production. So, I'm so pleased to know that I've seen you on stage other than just in Evan Hansen. Oh my gosh. So, this is a big learning curve for me tonight too.
And for me, I thought I was, I foolishly insofar that it was hard work, but joyfully directed 3 Fringe shows this past year. But it was different directing them from performing in them. So 2 summers ago, you performed in 2 Fringes simultaneously. You were in Stephen Gallagher's piece. Remind us, it was
The
Last Party. Yes, based on a true story of a dear friend of ours, Bradley. And the second piece was Kevin Wong's
Predicament of Polypio.
Yeah.
Of course. And Christopher, you would love that show because it has an alliteration in the title.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
So you got to not be involved in 1, but 2 new musical works that summer. With an
just an absolute blessing. And it was very much Stephen and Kevin and Julie and the teams coordinating it and being incredibly gracious about letting me, run from one to the other. And it helped. We ended up getting the same space, but they were all very good.
Oh, that's cool.
They wanted to work with you, so they made it work.
They made it work.
I could never have made a decision. I'd have just gone, I don't know, none of them, I guess. I can't choose. It would have been awesome. I'm glad they didn't make me choose.
That sounds like an epic fringe for you, though. There are stories about Broadway stars who have gone from theater to theater, right? And now you've got that story in your life too.
Well, we were Ma'an Dionisio, who we were fortunate. I've known Ma'an since the beginning of our career here in Canada, at least. Before she did Saigon here in Toronto, but then when she went to the West End to do Saigon, I believe she's the only West End actor to be doing 2 West End productions simultaneously. She was doing 6 Saigons and 2 Martin Guerres a week. She was and she was exhausted.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean, let's just bear in mind that the fringe shows are an hour. Like, that's
fair enough. Fair enough.
Had you, prior to doing those 2 shows, had you been involved in the development of a new musical before?
Yeah, it's very much my jam. I love doing it. I love taking the sort of bare bones of a script. I'm terrible with like the blank page. I can't write, but I love taking a script and really like following the threads of characters and language and where are we going and what's the point of this. I love doing it. And I've been really lucky, certainly in Canada, and a number of people that I've worked with in England that have really let me like have that creative license and that sort of editing kind of license to say, maybe if, I don't know, have an idea here.
Yeah.
So often it's like we're the writers and we're letting, you're putting it to life, but I don't need your input.
Yeah.
And everyone has been so great and it's just been a joy.
Oh, that's super cool. Well, we certainly want to talk to you lots about the project that you worked on first here in Toronto and then went on tour. And we've got some other people that we might want to have chat with you about that experience. But would this be a cool time to maybe sing one of your songs? Would that feel good? We'll give it a go.
Sure. I mean, my speaker's just gone to sleep. I don't know what's happening with it. I mean, the technology tonight is just going to be what it's going to be on the phone.
Right, and my computer crashed. This is the joy. It's Monday. We're getting into it. We're like chill. It's big girl chillax and friends. It's good.
It's all good.
It's actually just all the computers being like, tomorrow night's Schitt's Creek, right? Like, I got to save my energy. The internet is like, tomorrow's going to be a heavy day. You're getting the bare bones tonight.
That's right.
And they're right.
So what was the first beautiful musical offering you wanted
What are
to
you going to sing for us tonight?
Well, I thought I'd start actually with a musical which I had no hand in developing whatsoever, but is a new unpublished musical that I did do a couple of performances here in Toronto. It's called Heart of Winter, and it's a solo song cycle by Tim Connor in the UK. It's set in Yorkshire. I'm going to dispense with the accents for tonight.
Fair enough.
But this is arguably one of the sort of biggest torch songs of it. And it's a lot about waiting and hoping and looking forward to the day when this period of our lives is over.
Timely. Yeah, nice.
So here we go.
Good. See you at the end. Have a good sing.
Thanks. Hope it works. Don't you hate the winter evenings when it's dark outside and only gone 4:30? You feel as if the day had ended. Then the train you want is cancelled. The announcement blares, there won't be any more. Take the bus again. You run home from the bus stop, dry off and dream of when winter's over. When my favorite jeans aren't soaking and my hair's not like an afro and there's color in my cheeks again. Yeah, that just stopped.
Do you want us to come back in?
I gotta do it again!
Do it again!
Do it again. It sounded amazing.
The sound sounds beautiful.
Well, that's good since we didn't sound check up here. I'm so sorry, universe, and especially.
Not at all. I have to say, wherever you are, the light is great. Your eyes are sparkly. It's a great blues, and we like more dulcet tones from Jessie Sherman. Take it away, girl.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Don't you hate the winter evenings when it's dark outside and only gone 4:30? You feel as if the day had ended, then the train you on is canceled. The announcement blares there won't be any more. Take the bus again. You run home from your bus stop, dry off and dream of when winter's over. When my favorite jeans aren't soaking and my hair's not like an afro and there's color in my cheeks again. When the sky is always cloudy and the wind is up, you can't help feeling down. You want to stay in bed forever. All the trees look anorexic and the grass is just a mucky mess of brown. Clinging to your shoes, wish life were like the playground. Eyes shut and count to 10. Then it's over. Now my fingertips aren't frozen and the pavement's not an ice rink and there's color in my cheeks again. Color as buds start appearing, branches not looking so frail. Color from being in the sunshine rather than stung by the hail. Waking up early and thinking maybe today you'll be fine. That's the sign. Then you know that spring's arriving. Come to make up for the crap you've just been through. You face the world without a jumper, 'cause the breeze is feeling kinder, and I think I saw a tiny patch of blue bursting through the gray. With so much round the corner, I'll wrap up warm till then. Till it's over. There's the hope of new beginnings as the winter's soon forgotten. Look, the daffs have started opening. They'll be switching on the fountain. And when spring starts disappearing, there's not long to go till summer. And there's color in my cheeks. There'll be color in my cheeks again.
Bravo.
Oh my god, that was so good. Every technical glitch was fully worth it. That was amazing.
Oh, that was stunning. That was stunning.
Wow.
That was stunning. Jessica, you're such
a great piece. I have to do a little. I have to do 2 little shout outs if I can, because the sheet music for that is available on sheetmusicals.co.uk. I'm going to put it on the website later. Tim Connor, Heart of Winter. It is a stunning song cycle. Anybody who can get their hands on it and has an excuse should do it.
And stunningly sung. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, this is what I want to talk about it actually, because a lot of times our shows we've been talking a lot about the connection that our actor singers have with the lyric, and about getting beyond worrying about sounding good, but singing the lyric. But if I may, especially on that when you did that 10 with your fingers, you did something with the music, and what I wanted to ask you is, while as an actor singer you have a relationship with the text, what is your relationship with the music like? Because you seem to be vibrating your accompaniment emotionally through your body while you're singing, and I was fascinated with watching you and your relationship with the accompaniment. So what is that? Am I digging too deep, or is there, like, what's your experience with the music?
I mean, I don't know that I can be general about it. I know with this, Tim is a very good friend of mine, and he's just an astounding musician, which is not at all his day job. And he doesn't read or write sheet music, and he just sits at the piano and plays these things. And having now done this particular song cycle I did it with Peter Cavell here in Toronto, which was a joy to do with him. And I know Kieran McMillan's played it for me a couple times. I know it's hard piano music, and Tim just makes it look easy because he just
right.
It. So in figuring out how his natural writing has translated onto the page and then translated to the fingers of another pianist, I certainly have a much deeper relationship with this music, and also because it's really a duet, because it's written for piano and voice.
It's in you. It's so clearly knit together that.
I have to say, Dear Evan Hansen, very similarly, because the orchestrations are so genius, and the music is so phenomenal and so well thought through, that I know working on that has also sort of deepened an understanding of what's happening underneath me. I definitely spent many years being the kind of singer that was like, oh, are you playing with me? Like, I hold on my hands, and I was so wrong to do that for so many years.
Right. Well, speaking of that experience, if I may, with Dear Evan Hansen, I'm going to welcome to the stream a guest that you might not have expected tonight. Back from our first week, I'm going to bring this beautiful fella up.
Hey, Alessandro!
What's up?
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So, how's it going?
Oh, good. Listen to my dear friend sing beautifully. Well done.
Are you growing your hair out?
Yeah, it's because I don't have anyone to cut it. So
everybody on the interwebs today that I know was cutting their own hair this week. I think it's going a little. You think it's early for that?
I just think I can't cut my own curly hair. Curly hair.
I want it out to here at the end of this event.
It will be. I mean, it's over because I've been doing work today at my desk. Anyway,
I mean, we see it can be done with this fellow right here when he was in grade 11. Yeah, right.
Alessandro, right, Jesse?
Put that away.
So, guys, you, Alessandro and Jessica, you guys began your journey together in Dear Evan Hansen with Mervish here in Toronto. Did you? Let me see if I can do this. No, wrong way.
No,
can't even.
And
it is. Did you guys? Had you two known each other before your journey together with Evan Hansen in Toronto?
No.
Not at all. Most of us didn't know each other. No. I think Evan was the one that knew most people, but that was it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
what was it like collaborating on that piece to start that journey here, and then taking it out on the world and going across America before you
and to be picked as part of the Canadian company? There was such a conversation before it all went down, right?
Yeah. It was a dream. We had a great time. It was an incredible group of people, and we loved them really dearly, and we had a wonderful run, and it was the best. It was the best.
It really was.
Yeah.
What's it like for you two being out in tour life? I mean, you guys know each other. You guys had a connection going out on the road together.
Yeah, that was nice. Like having the 5 Canadians that were there, we were a really tight family, you know, and we still are. And yeah, I don't know, Jess. We lived together a lot at the beginning too, which was fun.
Cool.
And yeah, it's just always been great. And you know, the other thing for me is that like you know, the people that I do most of my scenes with weren't from Toronto, weren't on the tour, right?
Yeah.
So, so the only thing that was familiar to me was, you know, hearing Jess and Claire and Steph.
Yeah.
You know, my offstage track still sounded like what I knew, and so that was really comforting to have. You know,
I think we all sort of lost our scene buddies.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, so every scene sounded familiar to like the other people, but actually going on stage, it was like a new adventure from scratch every night.
Yeah, it's been cool, like to get to be part of it from Toronto and through the tour. I mean, it's been very dope, very dope.
I love it. Every once in a while, there'll be like a Toronto fansin shows up on the road somewhere. And you're like, how are you in Texas, girl?
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Then you feel really special. Like you flew from Toronto to Texas. What?
Yeah.
And what's it like doing a show on the road? I mean, you know, the average performer, say, you know, you're in a U.S. national tour, but I mean, like on average, what would be, say, the shortest stay that you've had at one venue?
A week.
A week?
Yeah, we've done one week.
And the longest thus far?
Longest has been 2 weeks. We were supposed to be in Philadelphia this month for a month. And then we have a Chicago engagement that's going to be 3 months for us.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see where we land, right? But yeah, 1 week has been what we've been doing. Yeah.
We know that show is very emotionally charged for the lead character as well, but also like not for you two, right? Yeah. Like, so what is that like with the trials and tribulations of jumping and packing up and leaving all the time, but then at the same time, like sometimes you get to escape from the madness of the world on stage, but it seems like you're living a heightened version of all the crises that one might face on stage, as well as picking up and moving every week. What does one do to keep the balance there? I don't know. Jess, like that's for, and I think it is more pointed at you because I think, Jess, you do go through much more of an emotional arc. Wrenching experience, yeah.
Yeah.
How did it feel?
The thing is about being on the road is that suddenly the show is the only thing in your life that's familiar, and it's almost a relief to get to the theater every day and be like, oh, I know that.
Yeah.
And even that, not even until you step on stage, because your dressing room's different every week, and your journey to the stage is different every week. And obviously for the first month, it was like, I'm sorry, where's my son? Who are you? And then after that, like once you get to know the other people, then the environment, like that onstage environment is the only thing that is familiar.
Yeah,
right? Of course.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's trippy. It's certainly trippy. I find it hard, like, you know, but the thing I love is obviously like exploring the different places, and we have a really wonderful company, but I do find it like that literally the only thing that is consistent is the floor and the costumes. Like, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. I was going to say, I was thinking about there might be sort of like creature comforts, or, you know, everyone sort of has their own sort of rituals before they go on stage. And, you know, sometimes that's connected to a specific space. But if your dressing room is constantly shifting from town to town, like all of that is in constant flow. And so
I think it took longer for us to adjust just because we had experienced what it's like to do the sit down and be at home and have our life. And then, you know, going to the road, all of a sudden it's the only thing you have is the show, really, right?
Yeah.
How you navigate that, but we have. I miss it. I miss it.
Of course you do.
I was on the suit, like he unpacks in his dressing room so that he's got all the pictures up around his, and so that's all very, like, I can see that. I learned from that. I started doing that later on, and I started getting into, like, I have a sage diffuser so that every new Airbnb smells
the same. Oh, that's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, sensory familiarity.
Little trick around, you know.
Yeah, like sensory familiarity. That makes absolute sense.
That's what I've been doing in here. Like when I go from one side of the room to the other, I just make sure that I smell the same, which has been really easy because showers are, you know, as random as
Yeah, who needs them?
as meals lately.
Right.
So
Anytime, day or night, could be
You know,
challenging.
that's right. Well, Alessandro, stick around, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you out. Jessica, we're gonna go a little overtime because I don't want to. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Bye,
There she
Alessandro.
is.
We're gonna go a little overtime past 8 because of our things. So we're not. Don't feel rushed or anything. But would you be graciously willing to share a piece, another music? Because I enjoyed that first so much. I'm jonesing for another.
I mean, do you have a preference? You know what I brought.
I don't know if you wanted to sing all three, but it's completely up to you.
We
Yeah,
do
what do you think? No, we're fine. I want 2 more songs. I showed up for 3 songs tonight. We are getting 2 more. What's the next one going to be?
The next one, well, yeah, no, I think I'll do My House from Matilda, which.
So I just directed this show with teens at Christmas with Main Stage Theater, and
Oh God.
this.
Well, now I want to do it. Now there's pressure.
No. It was with young people. But so I mean this is so exciting. I'm gonna have to tell them for sure to watch this because I love this song.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you just adding all the pressure?
No,
Why?
you're just gonna be lovely. This is excitement and joy. It's going to be lovely. Have a lovely thing, Jessica. I can't wait. I love this song.
The accent because I just feel like a douche.
Don't.
This roof keeps me dry when the rain falls. This door helps to keep the cold at bay. On this floor I can stand on my own 2 feet. On this chair I can write my lessons. On this pillow I can dream my nights away. And this table, as you can see, well, it's perfect for tea. It isn't much, but it is enough for me. It isn't much, but it is enough. On these walls I hang wonderful pictures. Through this window I can watch the seasons change. By this lamp I can read, and I am set free. And when it's cold outside, I feel no fear. Even in the winter storms, I am warmed by a small but stubborn fire. And there is nowhere I would rather be. It isn't much, but it is enough for me. It isn't much, but it is enough for me. For this is my house. This is my house. It isn't much, but it is enough for me. This is my house. This is my house. It isn't much, but it is enough. And when it's cold and bleak, I feel no fear. Even in the fiercest storms, I am warmed by a small but stubborn fire. Even when outside it's freezing, I don't pay much heed. I know that everything I need is in here. It isn't much, but it is enough for me. isn't much, but it is enough for me.
That was so beautiful. Thank you.
Right now, like, here we are.
you.
We're all just stuck in our homes, but God, aren't we lucky to have them?
Yeah,
All right.
we really are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny because you were saying this is, and it's very relatable in the room I live in. So it's incredible. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I just when things come out of my mouth, Jessica, I want to Ryan and I say this every episode. Like we're just because everyone is out of work, we have like the gift of having the most extraordinary people with us. It's just, you know, your authenticity and your honesty and your storytelling. It's authentically you, and I'm just very grateful to bear witness to it. It's that simple.
And because we don't have an audience, it's literally like getting a fully private concert. Like it's just like if Chris ever, and I hope you never do this unless you see us actually committing to what we're doing backstage, because Chris watches us on a screen backstage when we're not shown.
Right.
If you catch me just like,
yeah, like literally.
That's me, like back there, just enamored. You're stunning, Jessica, and your storytelling through what you do with your music is really, really beautiful, and a great role for you. Like you should be.
And the reason I brought him in without sort of formally introducing him back in is because he was like he was backstage doing this. He was like,
"Oh, yes, of course." Hi, Robert.
Well, that was me for most of the before, so this is even.
You sound so good, P.S.
Thanks, man.
I'm bringing all the magic in, all the love. Actually, okay. So I shouldn't exclude him. I'm going to try and bring Alessandro in again, but
Ooh,
you're
take me out.
Now, you know, you're just being
I'm
crazy.
gonna go.
You sure, Ryan? Let's try it. Let's try it with Alessandro and see what happens. Alessandro, can we hear you?
Did that work?
Yes, I think so. Hello.
Yeah.
Everyone say hi. Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan?
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sound check. Everyone good? Can
I
you
hear
talk?
Jess. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear Jess.
Okay, wow.
We're all
Okay.
here.
Okay.
So dear Evan Hansen family from Toronto, welcome back.
I can't believe this is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sing a song you all sing now.
You know, let's get it together.
I can still get fired.
So Alessandro, Robert, and Jessica, tell us what was one of the most challenging things for you as a company in performing Dear Evan Hansen here in Toronto? Like artistically challenging, not necessarily like emotionally challenging. Like what was something that
What was your
like
hardest day in rehearsal? No.
Yeah, no, I mean, like what was something, you know, but let me frame the question specifically. What was something that really brought growth out in you as an ensemble, do you think? Sort of
By doing the show, you mean?
Yeah,
Chris?
through the process. Robert, start.
What did you learn about yourself, Robert, playing Evan Hansen?
Oh God! Like, where do you start? Like, I think something that was challenging for us to overcome was when we got our closing notice, and we still had 10 weeks left, and we really bonded as a cast to buckle down and dedicate ourselves to telling the story now more than ever. And it really kind of bonded us in an appreciation of what we have as an ensemble, and to not lose that appreciation every night. I think that was a huge learning curve for all of us. And it can kind of go two ways. You can have everyone cut her after you notice like that, but I think ours did the opposite. I think it formed our ensemble even more, and we were really lucky with an incredible group of people that were generous performers on top of being just cool people.
Cool. And Jessica, what was your experience playing the mom to this talented fella below you?
It was. I learn from Robert every time I speak to him, and so imagine getting to do that like twice a day some days. Yeah. Like I was so grateful because I I've never applied the word self-care so much in my life. He very much taught me about prioritizing one's own damn self. But also
valuable.
I've never worked with a lead that is as generous. I'm saying that knowing they're out there watching me going, fuck you.
Here.
One of the most generous humans.
Oh, that's very nice.
Off, like just an inspiration to work with.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Alessandra, what was your experience watching those two work together?
Yeah, I mean,
When you were,
I would just like cry all the time. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and every day, like, you know, getting to see everybody tackle all that material with such grace and ability, and see them grow and over the course of our rehearsals and the run, and it was just astounding. It was like wonderful. Every day, I would, you know, listen to Robert sing. What's the song called that you sing in the kitchen? I don't remember the one that you do. Always See a Sky for Forever. I would listen to him sing For Forever all the time off stage because I would enter after that, but I would just go and watch the song because, like, as if I wouldn't, right?
right.
And then sometimes when I would be listening to Robert in Waving Through Window, I would start to kind of get nervous about, you know, just how excellent he was, and I would start to forget what the hell I was doing, you know. But
that's a great way. Yeah, that's a great.
That's wonderful.
I think one of the joys of the conversations we've been having with all of our beautiful friends, colleagues, and artists the last 2 weeks, including now, is that, you know, for people perhaps that are watching that are not in the industry, it's sort of the demystifying of you know, of the showbiz and getting back to sort of like the authentic human connections that happen through the work. And, you know, the fact that we can have you three in this sort of like Big Girl and Friends infomercial. But to hear about your experiences with each other as artists and people is a real gift for us to gain insight into. Yeah,
we had a great time. It was awesome.
We really did, and we were so, like, geographically, of course, at the Royal Alex, we were all quite close as well. So, you know, understudies were one floor above, and we were always like, oh God, I haven't seen them in forever. Like, I haven't seen them in 2 days. But we're so close. And then, and we were all along one, like, corridor, and it was so great to just, we were always up making those in the best possible way. And, like, you knew if somebody was having a bad day and somebody would poke their nose in, and you hear Alessandra being hilarious down the hall all the time. And, you know, it's just a really caring group of people and fun to be around.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know, we thought we were going to be there for, like, ever.
Yeah,
so
of course.
we were, like, moving in with each other. It was great.
Yeah, well, I mean, and how wonderful, despite the fact that necessarily the run didn't have the duration that you expected, but now you have these relationships and these friendships that transcend those contracts.
Oh yeah, I talk to Jess like every week on the phone. I talk to Alessandro on text all the time. Like we had a Zoom meeting with almost the entire Toronto company 2 nights ago. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
It's a pretty remarkable bond. Yeah.
Well, that's the gift, you know, and the work, obviously, a testament to the piece that has been
kind of the point of why we do what we do too, because we say hello and say goodbye to so many people so often, because contracts begin and end so often. But the thread that holds you together is just the common ground that we create together, and so that kind of transcends contracts, and that kind of for me, at least for me, it is, because I have a community, I have a family, I have a friendship now with a world of people.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Robert and Alessandro, stick around on the stream. I'm going to send you backstage. We're going to wrap up with Jessica, but then I'll have a hello when we go off air for a sec. Okay.
Perfect.
So, awesome. So stay tuned. So Jessica, my love,
what are you going to sing for? How are you going to close the night? Oh,
before you do that,
tell us
really quickly. I'm going to grab the screen for a sec.
Okay.
Quite a brief second.
Nope, we took it. It's us. It's all ours.
Wow, tonight clearly I had a day off and all my technical stuff is going a little bit wayside, which is kind of funny. I just wanted to super excited about this evening's performance and having Jessica with us. We're going to wrap up with her in a sec. Just tomorrow we're continuing with another fabulous guest, someone who's actually spent a prolonged amount of time performing out on the high seas on various cruise ship, superstar diva performer, the fabulous Tanya. Oh, come on. Can I do this here? Tanya Hagenberg is joining us. She's based right now in St. Catharines, Ontario, doing all sorts of wonderful benefit performances and working with young emerging artists. And we're excited to share in her stories and her fabulous voice tomorrow. And just a reminder that if you are following us on social media, don't be afraid to use our hashtag #BigGirlAndFriends. And a reminder that this is an ongoing fundraiser for the Actors Fund of Canada. Every donation helps. We're very grateful to Deborah for her $50 donation tonight. And we just hope that you can share this with as many people as possible, because we're probably going to be doing this for a wee while we're still away from the theaters. But let me welcome back these two gorgeous people. And we're back. Oh, Robert.
There she is. There he is.
So,
I was like, gorgeous. What are you talking about?
So, dear Jessica, as you are sort of in this period of social isolation, you know, as we all are, and you're away from your dear Evan Hansen family, what's the thing that kind of keeps you in a good soul space on a day-to-day basis as you're weathering this new normal?
I love your assumption that I'm in a good soul space. So thank you.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, I will say this, if I may. Smoke and mirrors, and I don't mean to be assumptive, smoke and mirrors, it's funny. When you're in the music, what emanates through your eyes is transcendent. So that's not lip service. That's truth.
What are you doing to get through the day? What are you doing to keep yourself okay?
I mean, it's fun. I'm lucky that I'm living with family. I have family near me. You know, my sister, like I have to see her, you know, so there's only so much isolation I'm getting. So in some ways it doesn't really feel like that, because I'm, you know, with family and I'm home, and God knows there's always stuff to do around the house. So when I run out of things to clean and or fix, I'll let you know. But so far there's always something to do.
Something to do.
Good.
Baking. Robert's fiance has been helping me with some bread work. And
yes.
And I'm cooking like a beast. And you know, it's also like the tour is also very hard. And so actually having some time, I'm trying to see this as a time of recouping.
Beautiful.
Because what else can you see it as?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'd be mad.
Yeah. Well,
good.
Would you be willing to share a beautiful third song with us to sing us out for the evening?
Yes.
I suppose I could.
I'm so happy about it.
We would be abundantly grateful.
I did the accompaniment, and it would be a shame if I didn't get to play it. So
yeah, let's shout out that beautiful man who supported our MD team, included the wonderful. I'll let you shout him out.
Oh, David Atkinson, who was also our associate MD on Dear Evan Hansen, and just a more delightful pianist. You could just
genius on top of it.
Well, we were very blessed to work with David. David Atkinson accompanied our Cocktails and Candy Canes this past holiday season, so we too got to collaborate with him rather closely, which was great.
He's amazing.
He's a gem and a gent.
So what are you going to take us out with?
I'm going to take you out with a Way Back to Then.
How lovely. Have a beautiful sing. There's always hope.
There's always hope.
There's always hope. Have a beautiful sing.
Thank you. Dancing in the backyard, Kool-Aid mustache and butterfly wings, hearing Andrea McCardle sing from the hi-fi in the den. I've been waiting my whole life to find a way back to then. I aimed for the sky, a 9-year-old can see so far. I'll conquer the world and be a star. I'll do it all by the time I'm 10. I would know that confidence if I knew a way back to then. So I bailed on my hometown and became a college theater dork. I was eastbound and down, moving to New York. So I crammed my life in a U-Haul to find my part of it all. But the mundane sets in, You play by the rules and plow through the days. The years take us miles away from the time we wondered when we'd find a way back to then. And when you least expect, opportunity walks through the door. You suddenly connect with the thing that you forgot that you've been looking for. And there you are, right in the middle of what you love, with the craziest of company. You're having a kick-ass time and being who you wanted to be in this world. You're that little girl with her wings unfurled, flying again. Back in the backyard dancing, I found a way back to them.
That is a beautiful emotional gut punch. That was gorgeous. Thank you.
Well, whatever issues we were having with the internet swiftly resolved themselves. And their songs were stunning.
Figured it out. Turns out I can only use the internet in this room. Now I know that.
Well, lucky for us that we did. It was worth starting a little later because we got to benefit from all that beauty. Thank you wholeheartedly, Jessica, for sharing.
It's been such an honor to have been invited to do this, to have something to work on and like a reason to put makeup on. Thank you for that.
Thank you to a second donation from a dear friend of mine, Robin Easer. That was actually her daughter that just shouted out. That was stunning for her $25 donation. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So listen, you two stick around and we'll have a little chat with Alessandro after this.
That just gave me hope tonight, Jessica. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you for kicking off our third week with such beautiful heart and style, girl.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And thank you for
meeting you.
A lot.
Well, listen, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully it's swiftly at 7 o'clock. Good night.